Few things are as peaceful as a walk in the woods. When the wind blows through the trees and the leaves begin to play a song, the forest can be a very musical place. On that note, we turn to a man whose love of forest land is only equaled by his passion for music. Chuck Leavell fell in love with Georgia when he joined the Allman Brothers Band in the 70s and lived in Macon. While the band was rockin' the nation, he and his wife moved to a farm in Middle Georgia and began planting trees. Now he plays keyboards for the Rolling Stones, a relationship that began in 1982 and continues to this day.
What do we say, Lisa?
Touring with one of the most famous bands in the world is pretty cool. But what you may not know about Chuck Leavell is that he would just as soon be on his tractor getting ready to prep the land for more trees on Charlene Plantation. When he's off the road, Chuck is a full-time tree farmer. He is a strong advocate on forestry issues and has been involved in forming the forest section of the past 2 U.S. farm bills. On a sunny day in March, we found him surrounded by fire, all part of a controlled burn and another way for him to plant more trees.
We do these prescribed burns for a number of reasons. One is to help reduce the hazard of a wildfire. Another is to discourage unwanted woody growth like scrub oaks and so forth, sweet gums. And the other reason is for wildlife enhancement, to promote the growth of natural grasses and seeds and legumes that wildlife thrive on. So it's really one of the best tools as a landowner, as a forest landowner, that we have for managing our timber and our wildlife.
Georgia is covered with forest land, about 24 million acres. Some of it is protected, like national forests and state parks. But most forest land, more than 90%, is privately owned by farmers like Chuck, people who just want the natural landscape, or timber companies. But all these trees, from the North Mountains to the sandy South, are part of what makes Georgia one of the most forested states in the nation. Georgia's forests represent about 3% of all forest acreage in the entire United States. As the largest state east of the Mississippi River, and one rich with natural resources, Georgia is also growing in population. As more people call this home, there are concerns that significant amounts of forest land will bite the dust. The biggest fear is urban sprawl. Like a crack on a windshield, roads, strip malls, and housing developments splinter out from every city in the country, taking trees along the way.
Here's some facts and figures that are a little bit disturbing. Atlanta, on average, loses about 50 acres a day to growth and development. And the Southeast as a whole, from Virginia down to East Texas, loses almost 1 million acres a year to growth and development. So, you know, I hope that we can bear that in mind as we move forward and continue to grow. We have some 313 million people on our shores now.
Some may not like commercial timberland. Since the trees are cut down and replanted, it's nothing like a forest rich with old growth trees. But Chuck Leavell says when private forest land is sold, including that owned by timber companies, the alternative is usually development. And then we all lose out.
Here in the state of Georgia, we have a $25 billion industry, some 166,000 jobs, either directly or indirectly involved with the forest industry. So it's very important to our economy, as well as to our landscape and to those that want to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
What are the non-economic values of forest land?
Forests are a filter, again, for water, for clean water. You know, you think about the rain that comes down and then goes through forest lands to filter into the streams, into the rivers, and so forth. And of course, again, you know, as a carbon sequesterer, they're so important. You know, they take in the carbon and they turn it into oxygen, which we all like to use.
According to the Georgia Forestry Commission, 2 out of every 3 raindrops that fall will land in a forest. Unlike rain rolling off pavement into sewage drains, water going to streams in a forest filter through the roots, slowed down by leaves and brush on the ground. The commission also says 1 acre of trees, just one, can produce enough oxygen for 18 people every day. The message from Trees Atlanta is similar. Since 1985, this nonprofit group has been dedicated to increasing Atlanta's urban forest and making new green space available. Certified arborist Susan Cunningham says the trees planted downtown offset the heat trapped by concrete.
In very urban areas, we deal with a lot of air pollution, water runoff from impervious surfaces, and also all the heat that our asphalt streets and brick sidewalks trap. So the trees are there to help collect and get rid of some of the pollutants from the air. They help shade the streets, and they also help slow down some of that stormwater runoff.
Cunningham spends many of her weekends working with volunteers, tree lovers who have planted more than 80,000 trees in the city. The hope is that once people learn how to plant correctly, they will begin to do more on their own.
The root flare is where the roots meet the trunk of the tree. So right here at these top roots, that's where we want this part of the tree to be even with the top of our hole.
They plant in neighborhoods, along downtown sidewalks, and at schools.
Soil in the bucket,
While most agree trees are good for the environment, Cunningham finds that many people just love them for a very simple reason.
Let's spread it out. Can you help, Benjamin? Spread it towards you. Yeah, good job. We mention all of these wonderful environmental and health benefits for trees all the time, but when I'm talking with a homeowner and choosing a tree for their front yard, they're mostly concerned about how beautiful it is. And that's the main reason why they want it, because it's going to bring joy to their life, make their yard more beautiful, and provide a place for their kids to play.
Does it really make that much difference? Well, aside from offsetting heat from concrete, research shows that roof, windows, and even air conditioners shaded by trees can reduce energy usage by 20%. You can feel the difference in temperature the minute you walk under the trees at Charlene Plantation. And what kind of trees are these?
These are pine. These are loblolly pine.
Now, I knew they were pine. Give me a little credit here.
Well, in the south where we are, we have loblolly pine, which these are. We have slash pine. We have longleaf, and there's been quite a push throughout the southeast to reintroduce longleaf, because longleaf was the original forest before European settlement here. These trees that we're walking amongst now were, I believe, planted in '78. So, you know, they're doing pretty well, and this is perhaps the fourth forest to be on this land since European settlement. So it is a renewable resource. It does grow back.
In his new book, Growing a Better America, Chuck expresses concerns that changing tax structures, aging landowners, and other factors may put pressure on owners of forest land to sell. The book preaches sustainability on personal and corporate levels. If you're a tree farmer or timber company, that means you plant at least as many trees as you sell, so there will always be forest cover. He believes it will take unique relationships to keep Georgia looking like the state he fell in love with.
You know, hunters won't have a place to hunt if they don't take care of the land. So, you know, most all the hunters I know, and I am one, you know, are very concerned with land issues, with wildlife issues. We want to make sure that the resources are there. And so I think having partnerships with hunting groups, with conservation groups, let's say Audubon Society or Isaac Walton League or the Sierra Club or other great organizations that really care about the land. These make great partnerships. And if we go together to our lawmakers and we discuss policy matters and ways that we can protect these lands and also use them, but use them wisely, use them sustainably, then I think we're going to be okay. And the sun does come up over there, so it shines on the sign.
We met one day several months ago with a special surprise. You see, this isn't the first time Chuck Leavell has been on Georgia Outdoors.
Look at me with all that hair.
I was going to say, man, your hair's longer than mine.
Yeah,
that was
well,
the
you
style.
know, Sharon, that was before I started dyeing my hair gray.
No, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I've been doing that. I've been doing that a few years now.
Yeah, well, it's a good look. It's a good look. Is it weird to see yourself like that? I mean,
yeah, it's been so long, and I remember so well. It's great to see these dogs. These were two of the best dogs that I ever had. I brought the dogs down to Pine Hill to hunt. The tricolor, she's liver and white and with a little light brown on her, and she's out of a sire named Coal Miner, so I had to name her Loretta.
The coal miner's daughter, huh?
That's right, coal miner's daughter. And the other dog was a female named Belle, and she was a great dog, both wonderful pointers. So I miss them very much.
Point over here. After an enjoyable...
this episode was taped in 1994 at Pine Hill, a quail hunting lodge in South Georgia, and the host at that time was Jeff Free. I watched this show, and It's hard to see whether many quail really fell or if y'all just fired a lot.
Listen to you, girlfriend. I never claimed to be the world's greatest shot. And of course, to me, the thing has never been about how many times you pull the trigger. It's just about being outdoors. It's about being in that environment, watching the dogs work. And if you get a few birds that you can put on the table later on, that's a big bonus.
This might be your last good shot.
Well, let's see. Does he hit or miss? I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't believe it. Come on, Chucky. Oh, he's walking fast. Oh, yeah!
Get him, Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
Good shot.
That's why I
Good
asked
shot.
if this was
Right.
really you shooting or if I...
No camera trickery, Sharon.
Okay, I'm just asking.
It's the real deal.
Chuck Leavell is a lesson on how one person can make a difference. Despite the fact he travels a lot, he has written several books, all discussing the need for conservation. He and his wife, Rose Lane, were named National Outstanding Tree Farmers of the Year in 1999. He is the co-founder of Mother Nature Network, an eco-website that covers everything from recycling to electric cars, and at last check, is the #1 most visited independent environmental website in the world. He is not alone in his concerns. The USDA has a project called Forests on the Edge, and Northwest Georgia is one of its case studies. The beauty of the mountains make this region an increasingly popular place to build a home. That means more power lines, sewer systems, and other trappings of 21st century living that have an impact on water, wildlife, and landscape. It's likely that few people would say you could or should stop growth. But to keep this and this and this, it will take education, better planning, and smart choices. The state, organizations like the Nature Conservancy, even individuals are already preserving land and working to keep at-risk forest lands off limits to development.
It's a reality, and we have to live with that reality. But again, I think the important thing is to be smart about it, you know, and be careful about how we're going to develop and keep as much of our natural lands natural as we can.
It's hard to do.
It's not easy, but you can do it. Clean air, clean water, home and shelter to all manner of wildlife. These are all things that forests do for us. And how important is that in a world where we now have over 7 billion people on the planet?
Forests on the Edge indicates that 44 million acres of private forest will see major increases in housing and development by the year 2030. It is in part what concerns Chuck Leavell. In his book, he writes, "This is your town, your community, your life, and your choice. It's worth the time and effort to stay informed about the growth and changes in your own backyard."
Georgia, oh Georgia, the whole day through
just an old sweet song. Keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, ah, Georgia, it's just a song. As sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out to me, and other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Oh, Georgia, yeah, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps you rolling on my mind. Well, other arms reach out to me sometime. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams, you know I see. When I see the road leads right back to you. Hey, Georgia, yeah, my sweet, sweet Georgia. Oh, no peace I find. I guess it's